Hello everyone, welcome to Autobot channel Kolkata. Today we have the privilege of having the Alcazar once again with us. Today it was the day of its first servicing. So we were in the service center whole day. We just came back. We also have the privilege of having the owner with us today who is going to share his experience of owning the Alcazar as of now. He's going to share you how the delivery experience was and how is the experience of the first service that he had. In fact, this was his first car, so he's very excited to share his experience with us. It has been great driving the Alcazar throughout its journey from the delivery to today. We have driven approximately 1100 kilometers with the Alcazar. It has been a great companion, great car, very good to ride, and it's also very comfortable for the whole family. In fact, 5-6 people, no problem with that. This is the diesel version. This is the 1.5 liter automatic diesel variant, which we have with us. We have spent about 1.5 months with the car. Approximately 1100 kilometers we have driven. That was all about what we were doing with Alcazar today. Now I'm going to request the owner of this car, Mr. Rupantar, to come and share his experience with us. So Rupantar, please do us the honor.
Hello.
Hi Rupantar, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm also doing very good. So how was your experience so far with the Alcazar?
I did buy this car after significant consideration, so I looked at multiple different options, but then I finally settled for this. First of all, it's a very simple, not a botched kind of a look. Feature-packed interiors. The claimed mileage is better than any other computers.
Right. In fact, it suffices all the requirements that we generally have
Mostly
in
for
terms
a
of
city
features.
ride, whatever you need for a city ride, for a single ride, or with a small family ride, it's like just there.
Correct. In fact, we have driven a lot of kilometers with it. We have gone to outings. We have done long drives. In fact, we have also did the night drive last time. So in every situation, this was a great car, and we thoroughly enjoyed it.
I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So if you can share what was your delivery experience that you had with Alcazar with our viewers.
So the delivery experience as a whole was good, I would say. There is no complaint I have on the dealer side because the dealer did its best to deliver the car on time with the promises that they kept. Initially, there were some issues with the availability of the car because since I booked the car, there was a good amount of waiting period. But the dealer did its best and I did get it on time. I did get it as promised, so no complaints on that front. The car was kind of delivered on the day that was promised to me. There were some hiccups, but then finally we could get it that day. And yeah, there was a good ceremony as well. Dealer ensured that the car is delivered to my delight and my family's delight. So good experience. So we took the car out. Like mostly, I've driven inside the city of Calcutta, but then we took the car out to several outskirts, a little Kolkata, Shantiniketan, and a little further from there. And yeah, a lot of tours and long trips are still pending. And the good thing is the end of the year vacations are approaching, so maybe I'll have more fun with this car that time. As I said about the mileage, so it was one of my first considerations because the car was primarily to drive in the city. So I wanted a car with a decent amount of mileage because fuel prices are increasingly going up and there is no brace to it. So inside the city, I've got around 14 to 16 kilometers per liter so far. And when I took it outside on the highways, in two big instances where we drove for about more than 100 kilometers in one stretch, we got about 21 and 23 kilometers respectively. So I'm kind of happy with it, and that this was before the first servicing. So I'm expecting that after the first servicing, which is done today, we'll probably get a nominal amount of increase in the mileage.
It is rightly said the service of a car makes or breaks the relationship. So this is true for all kinds of car, whether it's a small car or a big car, whether it's a bike or a heavy commercial vehicle. Service is the main importance because you will buy the car once, but then you have to do servicing to keep the car at its best shape. So today we took the Alcazar to do its first service. Now, what was the experience of the service? We will heard it from the owner itself. So Rupantar, today it was the first service of the Alcazar. Please share what was the service experience with the dealership.
Overall, a good experience, I would say. There were certain things which I wanted specifically from them, like some people have pulled a key, so lost a lot of paint, and there were scratches in the car, so I wanted to get those removed. But then they asked me to keep the car for 4 days, which is kind of not possible for me at this point in time, so that did not get happen. Apart from that, overall, yes, the cleaning, and this was the first servicing, nothing much. There were minor consumable top-ups. So that's a good thing, yeah, because nobody generally does a top up in the first servicing, so they did it. Apart from
Was it a pre-appointment that you have taken, or you have taken the car to the dealership and said
I
that?
booked it. I booked the appointment on Friday. Yeah, so I got it on Friday, and then this is Friday.
So it's very important that you should take a prior appointment first, so that the dealership has no chances of rejecting that we have so many cars, sir, we cannot do any service. So it's always a good idea to have the appointment in the first place.
Yeah, I think so. We book restaurants these days as appointments.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Why not
car
the
servicing?
car servicing? So how much time did you take for the total service from the time you drop the car at the dealership and then the time you receive the car from your dealership?
So the entire duration was around 3.5 hours or something. But then there were a little ups and downs. I had some questions, there were some queries, there were some additional inquiries. So that got it extended for about an hour or so. General duration was 3.5 hours, I believe.
We are going to hear from the owner how happy or how satisfied he is from the service today. Rupantar, how satisfied were you with the dealership?
Moderately.
Okay, any reasons for moderate satisfaction?
Yeah, I expected a better cleaning work, but then human errors always happen. So, but then when you balanced out human error and customer satisfaction, there is always a gap. So for that, I would give moderate, not a very satisfied.
In this 1.5 months that you had the car with you, did you face any problems with the car?
No, not at all.
Okay. Any issues that you asked the dealership during the service to sort the issues out?
There were two instances. One, the headlight was kind of not working properly. I could not give the full headlight, but then that was probably me. I did not know the function, so I was showed how to do it properly by the service people today. And the other thing was the perfume diffuser. That was not really working well, but I think it is now. So I'll have to wait for a couple of more days to understand whether it is really working or not.
So I hope the issues that you had were sorted out.
They were answered well. So let me see how it is actually in real life.
Okay. So Rupantar, very shortly we are going to sum up now. How will you rate the delivery experience that you had out of 10 and the first service experience out of 10 from the point of view of you as a customer and the owner of the Alcazar?
From the delivery perspective, I would give it a 10 on 10. It was really good.
Great.
That's a really good job done by the dealer. And from the first service point of view, as I said, it would be like 8 out of 10 or something.
Okay. So there is a lot of room for improvement, and I'm very sure the dealership is going to improve. And the next time that we are going to take the car for the major service, which we have at 10,000 kilometers or for first year, whichever is earlier. So we are going to have a much more experience. Rupantar, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank
Always
you
a
very much
pleasure.
for sharing your experience and giving us the Alcazar to experience this.
Of course.
Great car.
Anytime.
Wish you miles and miles of happiness and joy with Alcazar.
With a good mileage.
With a very good mileage. Yes, of
Thank
course.
you.